Hi folks, it's Andy. Welcome to this week's Kendo Rant. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We've got a few questions for you today. It's not a massive one today. It's a nice short episode, which is great because I'm a bit strapped for time. It's my little girl's birthday today. Not so little anymore, but still. So we're going to fly through these. But before we jump into these questions, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Ring the Kendo bell. That's the bell that appears after you press the subscribe button. You have to click that if you want to get better at Kendo. You click that, you start getting better at Kendo straight away. So the other thing as well, of course, is if you nearly forgot, if you want to support the channel, if you do like the videos that we are making, whether it's these Kendo rants, whether it's the instructional content, we've got some great instructional content coming. I will be filming some more. I'm finally able to film some more very, very soon. So we've got some brilliant instructional content coming as well. If this sort of stuff is what you like and it you know, brings you any value whatsoever, you can keep it going. You can support us by shopping at KendoStar.com. That's my website, of course. Fantastic, amazing, wonderful Kendo equipment. There's always brilliant deals to be had. We're the best in the world. If you don't believe me, check out our Trustpilot rating. And if you don't need any Bogo or Shinai or anything like that, you can still pick up a fantastic tenugui. Here's a great one of our original KendoStar tenuguis that we have. This one is a really great design. It's this sort of wave design, very traditional Japanese. And then in the middle, it's got this big kanji, kanao, which means to come true, like a wish comes true, a dream comes true, which I think is really, really awesome. And then on the edge there as well, it says Kano Kanoni Suru, which means to make impossible things possible. And Kendo is life, of course, at the end there. So that's a brilliant one. We've got loads of different ones. Go and check them out. There's a link in the description down below. So, right, let's get through these questions. Like I say, not so many. Hello Andy, have you ever practiced Kendo Kata with an Iaito? If so, do you gain anything from it? Thanks. So, not so much with an Iaito, but with a Mogito or a Katayo, which is a sword, a metal sword that's designed to be used for Kendo Kata. So they're a little bit stronger, a little bit heavier than an Iaito because you obviously hit them together. Yes, I have done that a couple of times. I did a kata embo demonstration once in the Butokuden, very beautiful dojo in Kyoto, for the I think it was a Kyoto Jitsugyodan tournament or something like that. I did that with the wonderful Alec Bennett Sensei, one of the best sensei in the world, one of my favorite people. We did a demonstration there for a Japanese tournament using those swords. So that was very, very interesting. I learned a lot from Bennett Sensei doing that. In the weeks beforehand where we practiced as well using the swords. And yes, it was a great experience. It's very different to using a bokuto. Of course, you're very aware of the fact that it's a sword. And if you make a mistake, then things could go very, unfortunately. But not just that. They're much thinner than a bokuto, of course. So the contact you have with your partner, the swords against each other, there has to be a good sort of contact there. Otherwise, they sort of clack together and it makes a very distracting sound. That's not very good. So you have to have good control of your hands, your tenuchi, whilst you're in your kamae. There's that, of course. And then, of course, there's the whole rigmarole of getting in and out of the saya. Now, if somebody's sort of accustomed to doing iai, I'm sure that's as sort of second nature as putting on the men is to a kendoka. But to someone like me that doesn't practice iai, then getting the sword in and out of the saya was something that did require quite a bit of practice, but managed it in the end. And yeah, it was a great experience, and I definitely think it's something that can be beneficial. Next one. Hi Andy, have you ever seen any behavior in the dojo which might constitute violence? I once witnessed a punch in Bogo, and sensei laughed at them. What style of Kendo is this, if any? Cheers. I don't think that's Kendo. I don't think there's much place for that sort of thing, to be honest. Unless obviously they're sort of messing around with their friends. I mean, it's not Kendo, then it's just jovial messing around, isn't it? But I mean, sort of that sort of violence, no. Now, having said that, there is a sort of very blurry fine line between a relationship a teacher has with a student in a sort of traditional sense, certainly in a very Japanese style way of teaching, that can be quite rough. Rough and ready, and especially if you see some very traditional teachers in Japan that teach kids. My daughter's first teacher was quite hard in that respect, and yeah, from a sort of Western point of view, it could be considered even violent. But I didn't like it wasn't sort of considered that because it wasn't done from that sort of place. So I don't view that as violence, whereas I guess some other people might. So feel free to disagree with me on that. But in terms of violence from a sort of malicious point of view, no, there's no place for that in Kendo, or even like sort of, you know, like if you're talking about gokaku geiko, or like the sort of practice between two peers, then, you know, there's no real place for violence. And even in the shiai as well, of course, you have to do the shiai seriously and earnestly and try your best to win, but doesn't mean it should slip into violence in any way whatsoever. So yeah. Next one, choose a personal coach for a year. The best, strongest competitor by your own standards, or the best, wisest sensei from any time in history of Kendo. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a tough one. There's loads of people I'd love to learn from, but whether they would be the good fit for my Kendo is another thing as well. And whether they, you know, somebody being a great competitor doesn't mean that they're a great coach, you know, actually. So, you know, I mean, I'd love to learn from, there's loads of teachers I'd love to learn from. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Obviously, Eiga Sensei would be fantastic, or Miyazaki Masahiro Sensei would be amazing. I'd love to learn from someone like them over a year. Takanabe Sensei or somebody like that, or I mean, that's my sort of golden era, is that sort of era from sort of Miyazaki Masahiro Sensei through to probably some, you know, probably like the Takanabe Susumu Sensei or Teramoto Shoji Sensei era is my sort of favorite. But yeah, it's a hard one. If it was like a sensei, like an Hachidan sensei, then probably this is a tough one. Chiba Sensei was amazing. Chiba Masashi Sensei was something else. I was privileged to practice with him a few times. Obviously he's passed away now, but yeah, he was a fantastic teacher. There's a teacher in Fukuoka, I've posted about him on the blog before as well, called Hasuo Sensei from Fukuoka Police. He was amazing. But I mean, even someone like Komeda Sensei from Kyugaku, I mean, that would be hardcore. But yeah, but that'd be pretty cool if I didn't like die. But maybe I think if I had to pick one, I'm probably gonna pick Eiga Sensei, aren't I? Realistically, probably Eiga Sensei, or Miyazaki Masahiro Sensei. One of those two. Andy-san, are you going to do Kendo kata videos so we can practice katas? How many kata do you have to learn for your very first grade? So yes, I will be doing some kata videos. I've been talking to my wonderful wife, Miyuki, who was in some videos with me. She was in one just the other week about women's representation in Kendo, and she obviously was in the Zero to Shodan series with me. And we are looking at doing some more instructional videos, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So yeah, I'll take that on board in terms of Kendo kata. We'll see if we can get something together. I'm not sure how confident Miyuki is on doing kata on the camera, but we'll see. And in terms of what kata you have to learn from your first grade, usually if they do the Kendo no kata, so the Nihon Kendo no kata, the actual kata, it's usually 1 to 3. But often for, like, it depends. Like in Japan, for example, for ikkyu, the first kyu, you don't do any of the Nihon Kendo no kata. You do the Bokuto ni yoru Kihon waza keiko ho, which is the Kihon waza using a Bokuto. And I think you have to do the first 5 of those, is it? I think. I don't know. But in the UK, I don't think we do those at the gradings. For the UK, from ikkyu, which is the first Q grade, which is the first one that's administered nationally, it's the Nihon Kendo Kata 1 to 3. Anything up to second Q, so second Q and below, that's done by your own dojo. So you'd have to ask your own sensei what you would have to do for that. Next one. Hi Andy, hope you and your family are doing well. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. I want my new gi and hakama shipped lightning fast. Okay, we're doing our best. All right. I know there's been a couple of delays on shipping over the Black Friday weekend. We're pretty much caught up now. So I think looking at your name on Facebook where you posted this, I think your order's going out on Monday. It didn't quite make it out today because there's a few things in it we've got to get together, but we'll get it out to you ASAP, all right? We do a pretty good job of that. Come on, we do a pretty good job of getting the orders out fast. You got to admit that. And can you resize a bamboo door the same way as a plastic door? I have one and it's a couple of centimeters wider than the door, centimeters wider than the door from my Vanguard set. No, you can't resize a bamboo door in the same way as you can a plastic door. They're much more delicate. It is possible to resize them by about 1 to 2 centimeters, but it takes much longer and you have to take the process much more gradually. What you want to do is, if you need to make it smaller, which is what you're saying, you do the same method where you tighten the himo to shrink it. But what you want to do first, you want to get some like teneguis and dampen them. Okay, so get some damp teneguis and lay them on the inside of the door against the take on the inside, just to give the take, the bamboo, some moisture. And then tie the himo tighter, but with a plastic door, you would tie it tighter, so tight it go past the point where you want it to end up. So say you wanted to shrink it by 2 centimeters, you would tie it to the point where it's like 3 or 4 centimeters smaller than where you want it to, and then when you release it, it'll go out to where you want it to. You don't do that with a bamboo door, right? With a bamboo door, if you want to do it 2 centimeters, bring it in by about 1 centimeter and leave it like that for like 4 or 5 days. All right. And keep checking on it when the teneguis dry. Moisten them again. You want to keep it moist. All right. Then after sort of 4 or 5 days, keep the teneguis wet. You can tighten them a bit more for that extra centimeter, and then leave it again for another 4 or 5 days, and it should be okay. All right. Yeah. Don't go mad on it, all right? Don't start doing it too much. If you do too much, you're going to crack the lacquer on the front of it, okay? I've seen that before. Like if you try to over shrink it, all the lacquer on the front, the urushono paki or what, like, what do you call it? Like paki, that's the Japanese crackles, like all crackles. That's it. So yeah. Be careful with that. Okay, this is the last one. I told you it was a short one today. All right, Andy, I attended the odd dojo where the teacher or senpai let the word Mokuso really drag out, as in Mokuso. Recently, I've seen it more in videos, predominantly in Japanese dojo. What's the idea behind this? Is a reason why everyone doesn't do it? Is it to release all of the air from your lungs and relax as much as possible? I hope yourself and KendoStar extended family are okay. We are, thank you very much. I'm patiently waiting for the new Victory Series burger. I'll get to the Mokuso question in a minute. The Victory Series burger. Well, we got the samples in, and it is a nice burger. The new Victory is going to be really nice. It's coming first couple of months of next year, probably January. it's a beautiful Borg set. You're gonna love it. If you like the last victory, if you want a lightweight Borg set that's super comfortable, you know, then the victory is gonna be an amazing one. A really, really nice one. Right, about the Mokuso. Yeah, generally for the most part in Japan, most dojos I've been to generally do shout Mokuso as an extended shout. So it'd be, what do they do? Seiretsu, then Chakuza, and Shise o Tarashite or Tarashite, whatever you say in the dojo, and then Mokuso! Something like that is usually the kind of, but louder, but I don't want to kind of blow the mic out. Yeah, is the sort of standard thing. It's I don't think I ever saw a place where they'd be like kind of thing. It's almost always extended, and especially in like high schools or something like that, they usually like really belt it out until they've got no breath left. But it depends. Obviously, it's kind of a little bit stylistic and depends on like the sensei who's in charge, what their preferences are as well. That's it. Thank you for joining me today. It was a short one, but I enjoyed it all the same. I hope you did as well. Some great questions. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get shopping on KendoStar. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.